And we're back on Tri-County Spin. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I have Lisa with me as we said earlier.
Sidekick.
Yes, my sidekick is here. And I also have almost my other sidekick. I think this is Renee's third trip. We're so glad to have her. Renee Ellmers, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. I really do. Thank you for having me back.
You're welcome.
Okay, and tonight we're going to talk with Renee again, and this is for our night audience that maybe did not see it during the day. And Renee, I want to tell you, I got so many positive comments, and people called me and said, everybody's told me that you had that Renee lady on, and I wanted to hear.
Renee lady.
That Renee lady, and I wanted to hear. So the Renee lady is here tonight, Renee Ellmers for Congress, and we're so glad to have her here tonight. So
Give us a little background information of you and kind of how you got to this point
All right.
to be
Running for Congress.
That's right.
How about that? Well, I am a nurse. I'm 46 years old. My husband is a general surgeon. We live in Dunn with our son, who's 14 years old. And with all of the issues going on in government these days and all the things that are happening, basically since President Obama has taken office, there were many concerns that my husband and I had, especially with the health care issue. So starting a little over a year ago, we started going out and speaking at some of the health care rallies, and that just kind of got us on a road towards being activists, and of course the Tea Parties became very popular, and we've just found ourselves in that same position that so many other people have.
And you get to see this, but you can tell us firsthand, Renee, because you're a nurse, your husband is a doctor. So
Right.
you can tell us firsthand how bad this health care really is.
Well, it does two things. One, it's going to be detrimental to health care because it is a form of socialized health care, and if you've talked to anyone from another country who is in the socialized health care situation, Canada, England, Europe, these areas, it's a poor system. It does nothing to improve health care. It does nothing to improve the quality.
back.
Absolutely, absolutely, and everyone has to take kind of a back seat. We have the best health care in the world. Why would we want to compromise that?
Right.
The other issue, of course, is that through the healthcare system, government is going to be inserted into our lives in places that it's never been before. And it also grows the size of government. The federal government is going to grow massively because of the number of IRS agents who will be put in place to run it, to manage it. But then also there's over 150 agencies that are going to be added as a result of the health care. So you can see how huge the federal government is going to get. And of course, as we all know, the government does not do anything well.
Right.
And that is the last thing we need.
You're
So,
exactly right.
Yeah.
And I really
Wow.
feel, and I think a lot of lower income people felt that this health care was going to be good for them. But I think it's going to hurt them.
I think ultimately it will for a couple of reasons. One, none of the health care benefits that they have included in this are even going to take place until 2014. So there's a long distance between health care today and where the health care benefits will kick in. But we are all going to be subjected to the taxation, basically starting now,
Right.
to pay for it, so that the numbers will come out to what the Congressional Budget Office has said. And very recently, as at the end of last week, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid actually have come forward and said that this is actually going to cost billions of dollars more. So that's our own, that's President Obama's own Center for Medicare and Medicaid. So as you can see, the more as time is going by, we're starting to learn more and more about it. Of course, it's already been passed, and that's why I feel so strongly about getting into Washington in the health care issue alone, because I want to work hard with other Republicans, other conservatives, to defund it and to ultimately hope to repeal it.
Exactly.
Because it just will
Not
be
to mention
detrimental.
immigration.
Well, that's coming down. That's coming down, especially with the situation in Arizona, with them
Right.
passing their legislation. That has really put a push towards the federal government getting involved with the immigration bill.
Right. Renee, on your commercial that we've seen, on the networks and on WHIG and so forth, you talk about the rubber stamp Congress.
Right. Well,
Talk
basically,
about that a little bit.
what we see right now is with the Democrat majority in the House and in the Senate, and President Obama, of course, being a Democrat, it seems as if
Really?
right now any of his agenda is their agenda. It is the far left liberal agenda. So any of these issues that are coming forward seem to be getting passed through without really any of the checks and balances that really we need as a country in order for everything to work out the way that it is best for Americans.
I say they're so far to the left, they'll never make it right.
That's exactly.
Unfortunately, that's where we are right now.
They'll never make it right.
That's exactly right. Let's see where you stand on jobs, Renee. How do you stand on that?
Well, that is the number one issue in America right now.
It's
not, some of these other issues, such as we were talking about healthcare. Healthcare was never the main issue, and yet it was the big push that our president had. We have got to be creating jobs again, and the government is not able to do that. And you saw the stimulus package, $787 billion worth of taxpayer money spent. Of course, there's a good majority of it that really hasn't even been spent, but is sitting. But we're spending all this money. Well, exactly. Just waiting for something. And here we are. And do we have more jobs? No, absolutely not. What we need to do, we need to eliminate the uncertainties that small businesses and corporations are faced with in the upcoming time with the possibility of cap and trade. What will that do? If cap and trade gets passed, all of our taxes are going to go up, our energy costs are going to go up.
You're exactly right.
2011, January 1st, the Bush tax cuts are going to sundown. So any small business that's an S corporation is going to be taxed at that same personal rate, and so all of our taxes are going up. All of these things are looming over us. Healthcare, the taxes from healthcare.
Well, they're talking about value-added
Value-added tax is another.
last week.
The possibility of a value-added tax. All of this taxation. Small businesses right now, even if they had the ability to go out and hire someone, they're looking 2 and 3 years down the road. What will that do if they add another staff member? So if we can right now cut taxes for small businesses, corporations, individuals, let's get the money into the pockets of individuals, and let's start letting small business build some capital so that we can get back on the road to starting to hire again.
Right.
That's the only way to do it.
And this should have been on the forefront and not behind.
Absolutely.
The health care. I mean, think of the small businesses that have already gone out of business.
I said
because
6
of the
hours they
Absolutely.
spent on C-SPAN, and that was what the 2 times they were on C-SPAN.
Right.
That they spent on C-SPAN at the Blair House Summit. 6 hours, and the millions of people that are without a job. It burned me up.
Absolutely. And that was just a dog and pony show.
That's
that
exactly right.
that was purely to put aside all the criticism that the president has had because he has not included the Republicans in and the transparency issue.
Yeah.
We
can see right through it.
Right. The Obama administration was going to be the most transparent administration
No, they
ever.
are.
Well, and what did it get us? Nothing. He still rammed through that health care bill just as if that had never taken place. That was a monumental waste of time.
And I hate to say this, but your opponent, Bob Etheridge, I believe that he knew where he stood.
Oh,
I believe he definitely knew where he stood on health care up until the very last day, and then waited so he wouldn't have to take the heat. That's just my analysis of what I saw. But I think that was just sad. That was.
I think I do because.
And do you believe his numbers? I mean, he's saying his numbers are not true. The constituents, the number of constituents that were totally against this, and he did not